Too high. And not very secure. Hey, come on in. Just trying to get all my paraphernalia together. So I would love for you to join me for the next couple of hours. I'll take whatever time you can give me. Hey, come on in, Wampus. And I am Angela. I'm an urban farmer in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and we have a lot to do here. I am still trying to play catch up from vacation last week, and trying to get my backup account going here so that I can do a little bit of modifying at the same time. Moderating, not modifying, moderating. And I hope you will join me for a little while out of your day. I appreciate any time you can give me. And there I popped up right there. And let's get going here. Let's get going. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I look forward to you just hanging with me for a little while. And I really don't know how to operate this thing. Oh, anyway. Yeah, come on. So my name's Angela, and I'm messing with my technology, and it's just not cooperating. But let me get this shared out as well. So we've got our friends coming in, and thank you for joining me. Let's see. We're going to send this out to some of our new friends and some of our old friends and just see who can join us today. So I thank you for joining me, and we are going to do some harvesting, whatever we can find. I didn't see a lot out there earlier, but we'll keep checking. There's probably a lot of peppers. That seems to be the thing that I have a lot of. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to show you guys. I set up my little farm stand for the first time, hoping that that will, you know, I don't know, just provide another little income stream. So I'm just going to leave that alone now. Oh, I do need to plug that phone in. This will try to do some moderating there with it. But so you guys just never know what I'm going to do. Sometimes we're inside, sometimes we're outside. It's actually only in the 70s today here. It's Cincinnati, Ohio area, but it is still humid. Still humid. I would really like for this humidity to be gone. Oh, yeah. So I see that someone is looking at products. You're welcome to go down there and look at things at any time. I don't typically pin something unless I actually have it on the screen and I'm using it. And there will be a few things throughout our time together that I do that. I am also, having issues with, I apologize, guys. I'm trying to figure out this backup account and being able to mod with it. Honey, can you please bring me? Well, we're not even allowed to say those words on here. You have to say adult beverage or you get in trouble, Rabbit. But I don't even have any in my fridge at the moment. And, you know, if there was a way, I would do it. Yeah, I would. But so yesterday, you guys hung out with me and I was trying to put together my little front porch farm stand. So just going to show you how that turned out. We're just, you know, getting slowly started here. Oh, and I'm going to remove this thing about the gifts. That's something new. And I don't know even what they're doing. But so let me go ahead and remove that now. So basically, as you can see, I have flowers. I have, I baked some scones this morning. I've got lots of extra tomatoes. I know this doesn't look like a lot, but there's more. I've got some garlic, and I thought, you know, let's have something that's kind of cheap. So this is like the little misshapen garlic that we couldn't use for anything else. There's a few good ones in there as well that they'll get like 5 or 6 little cloves out of. But some of these are like, they didn't actually clove. I did, Rabbit. Grew the flowers too. And I've got lots of peppers. I've got a lot of peppers in my refrigerator. I just didn't want to bring them out here without having a way of keeping them cool. But yeah, we'll be adding to and taking away from the flowers as we need to. I advertised on Marketplace and Nextdoor. I don't know if anybody will show up, but it's just a chance for me to try to get my name out there for people to know that they can stop by. Right now, I'm just going to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll do all day. I'll leave it out here all day. I don't have a cash box yet, and I'm not even really sure how I would hang it out here so that it couldn't be taken. So I had just put in the listing. Yeah, I know, Rabbit. I know. I bet you have some little farm stands in your area. A lot of people are starting to do this as they're growing stuff and baking. A lot of people are just trying to get back to, finding ways to earn a little bit from home. So yeah, once I get a cash box, I won't have to babysit this quite so much. But being in the city, I kind of have to babysit it a little bit. Not too much. But yeah, I'll just have to keep an eye on the flowers over the next couple of days, swap out anything that looks like it's starting to fade, and we'll see. I do need to get some type I want like one of those chalkboard sandwich signs so I could put it out by the street, and then I could probably even put a sign on a post down at the end of my street. I just am concerned that somebody down there would mess with it. I'm in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, Rabbit. So yeah, but let's see. We can go ahead and get started. Today, I was just going to kind of give you guys because it's not super hot, and I don't think my phone will overheat like is normally the risk. So let me get because it's not super hot, and I don't think my phone will overheat like is normally the risk. So let me get my Wi-Fi turned off, and we'll go with my data. And I was just going to kind of take you guys around on a little farm tour while I harvested. The phone has been stuck on my front porch. You're in Utah. Oh, I bet there's lots of farm markets around there where you are, Rabbit. I bet there are. Just go on Nextdoor if you have that app, or go on Marketplace on, the Book of Face. And I bet you will find somebody local who's doing the same thing. Yes. So I won't, go into detail about every single thing that I have here, or we'd be here all day. But let me just show you this bed. Let's see. So I did cut some of these, mainly strawberries and peaches here. That's wonderful. My strawberries are done by the beginning of June. I started to say end of May. Hard to find a local strawberry place here by mid-June. They're pretty much all done. But peaches are still available as long as, the orchard has different kinds, some early and some late. Yeah, they're done there too. Do you guys grow tomatoes in Utah? That always seems to be like the big popular thing at farmers markets here, because they're all over. Yeah. Tomatoes seem to be the really big thing here. In old-fashioned American films, who was Little Orphan Annie? I have no idea. To the answer of that question. Prince of Poems? I don't know. Hi, Lori. Hey. Thanks for hopping in. Guys, Lori is a regular here. I'm not sure if her account's private or not, but if it's not, if you want to connect with her, she hops in here a lot, and she does hydroponics. So she's a good resource for learning about hydroponics if you're interested. Rabbit, I wish I lived somewhere where there are Bing cherries. I prefer Bing cherries, but Deborah, hi. Bing cherries. I prefer Bing cherries, but Deborah, hi. Thanks for connecting with me. And I will connect with you after the live, unless you have a private account. But I actually put some of these on the recommendation of my flower farmer friend, put some of these in those bouquets. Hey, Lori, I got my little, if you're still in here, I got my little porch front farm stand. I just dove in and did it. I don't know if anybody's gonna hop in or not. Somebody's comment was filtered. If it was a legitimate content, you can go ahead and reword it. And Rabbit, yes, I will follow you back after the live unless you have a private account. I also made some lemon rosemary from Rosemary in my garden, lemon rosemary scones, just a few. I didn't even put anything on Marketplace or Nextdoor until very late last night. But I saw this morning that there had already been like 150 clicks on the Marketplace thing, and a few people had saved it. So hope I'm not locked down. I don't think so. Sometimes you just have to reword things. You might have used a sensitive word like the adult beverage thing. Got some smaller tomatoes and like some medium-sized tomatoes. This is a whole bunch of like oddball garlic that I thought, you know, 4 for $1. Maybe somebody would want some small garlic. Wanted to have something kind of cheap. That still didn't get filtered. I know. I'm sure I will have even more peppers after we harvest here. I love garlic too, Rabbit. I absolutely do. Okay. Oh no, I thought I was getting a delivery. It's like every time I go live, almost, not every time, most of the time, I get a delivery. Okay, so this is the bed that I've told you guys all season long. I really struggle to keep the weeds out. There's some type of, see if I can, this stuff. And it just goes from plant to plant. So next year I will be putting a raised bed in here, which will probably make it smaller, but that's okay. It'll be more productive without all of the weeds in here. Still have some good looking tomatoes. A few here and there. I'm kind of surprised, really. I can show you guys. You guys let me know if I start to glitch because I'm taking you out here with me. So starting to get some grapes, but I don't know if anybody in here has ever grown grapes. I really need your input because I'm having to pick grapes individually because the whole bunch doesn't ripen. It doesn't all ripen at the same time. Oh, hey, I forgot to say, as you guys are coming in, if you haven't, go ahead and connect with me. Do your heart me's, share this out, tap it out, which makes that little number go up. All of those things help bring in more people. And I'm not about counting people. I am about bringing more people in who have knowledge and who are wanting to learn. I'm getting an unstable connection, even though I'm on my network. Am I glitching, guys? I might have to put you guys back on the front porch again. I'm sorry. Dang it. I was really hoping it was going to be okay. Is anybody still there? Do I still have an unstable connection? I'm seeing the likes. Is anybody here? Looks like maybe. Hi. Let's see, who was that? Let me get you highlighted here. Tabitha. I hope I said your name right. Tabitha, thanks for joining me. So I'm going to flip this around real quick. So I'm in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and I honestly feel like the humidity affects my phone more than the heat. Looks like there's 8 or so here. Awesome, Tabitha. I was just asking because I wanted to take you guys around to show you my garden. Hi there, Georgia, Texas. Keep coming in, guys. Keep coming in. That's awesome. I'm Cincinnati, Ohio area, DD. Thanks for connecting with me. As you guys are coming in, you can connect with me like Dee Dee just did, and to the best of my ability, I'll get you highlighted. I don't have a mod. Howdy from I was just in Texas last week to see my daughter, Houston area. Love it down there. But then you can do the heart me. That helps as well. Sharing this out, doing those likes, those taps, which makes that number go up right there. And guys, that is so that we can get more people in here who have information that I don't have. Texas, thank you, Texas Cowgirl. Thank you for connecting with me. And guys, thank you for that as well, Texas Cowgirl. Thank you so much. And for me, it truly is not about the numbers. It's about, I know the more people we bring in with the more knowledge, we're going to get newbie gardeners, urban farmers, homesteaders, bakers, cookers, preservers, you know, all those things. We're going to get newbie ones in here too. And we can help teach them together, you know, from the mistakes and the things that we've learned as well. So if you're a newbie to gardening, drop that in the chat. Let me know. Maybe you feel like you absolutely can't grow anything where you are. I beg to differ. I started in an apartment with those pots right there 12, 13 years ago. We've been here in this small house. We are actually across the Ohio River in northern Kentucky is what we call it around here, from Cincinnati, Ohio. I literally can walk to the Ohio River from my place. But I have 1/10 of an acre in this little Kentucky city, and that includes my house, my driveway, my sidewalks, a chicken coop, a little shed, and a patio in the backyard. So I don't really have 1/10 of an acre that I am gardening, urban farming. I call it urban farming. But I love to teach people how to grow things in small spaces, not doing traditional tilling and rows and all of those things, which if you do your research is really not good for your soil. Unless you're going to amend it and do the organic things to really, you know, help it. Pardon me. So I don't just want to teach you how to grow your food. I want to teach you how to use it once you have it. So sometimes we go inside and we do a little preserving. We bake, we cook. Sometimes I'm getting pizza dough ready for my family for dinner, and we stretch the pizza dough and I tell you how to make this really great pizza dough. It's just different every day. And if you ever miss a day of the live, I just learned this recently, even though I've been going live off and on for a year. I started these gardening ones on June 22nd, and we haven't looked back except for my vacation week last week. And you can actually go to my profile and see any of the lives that you missed for the last 30 days. TikTok keeps them there, and it will, when you go there, you'll see like the showcase button and subscription button, and then it'll say live. And if you click on that live, you can go back and watch old lives where I don't know, what did we make? We made fruit bread. We've made fruit cobbler. I even share the recipes with you if they're not my, like, if they are my recipes. I'm saying that backwards. I'm also starting a farm stand. So that's right behind you guys right here. And I was showing that just a minute ago. Front porch farm stand. So I'm hoping you guys will join me on that journey and maybe get inspired to sell some things from your house, baking or cooking, or if you have extra produce, that kind of thing. So just keep coming on in, share maybe a little bit of your experience. Unfortunately, I think I am going to have to leave you guys on the porch. I've had to do that in 90-degree heat. Today's Cincinnati area, we're only like 70, I think it's like 72, but there is no breeze. The humidity is just thick. Are you in Covington? Yes, Diane. Yes, I am. Are you from around here? Yes, I am in Covington. I love the Cove, as we say. Let me see if I can get you guys back out here without glitching. Let me see if I can get you guys back out here without glitching. It's probably just going to be a delicate balance. So I do have TikTok shop items down there. If you're interested in any of the things that I talk about, I do not actually pin anything down here at the bottom unless I'm actually like demonstrating it or something. And the other day we spent a lot of time on this, so I'm not going to pin it right now, but we did just put this together. It's a little automatic solar, waterer, and looks like it's doing well. We had that bucket full yesterday, so it has definitely watered the 2 times that it was supposed to. And the reason I set it up was these black grow bags. In the terrible heat, we were not getting rain, and they do not retain moisture at all. And so my pepper plants were looking very wilted all the time, and they look much better. And I'm seeing a lot of peppers there that we've got to get harvested. So let me grab my basket. I'm going to get you guys flipped around here real quick. I just have to make sure that I am on camera, or like my hand, or, you know, something, so that the algorithm can see that it's not a BOT doing this live. So this system had 15 of these little blue, I don't even know if you guys will be able to see that because of the chat. They have these little blue stakes that you attach the tubing to. Now, the only thing I might have to replace next year is if I used all the tubing, which I haven't come near to doing that. I might have to buy some more tubing, but Freedom X was in here when I was putting this together, and they were like, oh, that's like $10 at a home improvement store. So I'll be able to reuse anything. Like if I just reconfigure it like this again, it won't be a problem. But I only used 6 of those, and it comes, the one I have comes with 15. I think there is the one that you see the price when you click down there that says $10. I think that one has 10 individual of those watering spikes. I only used 6, so really I can finish out the rest of this bed. I was just going to wait and see what the weather did. I didn't want to get it all set up and then we go into fall and not need it. Because really, I had my husband get the 5-gallon bucket for me, but if I set this up for this entire bed, I really need a bigger water source. Wow, there's a lot on here. So somebody popped in and said they use a 36-gallon can. I was thinking, pardon me, a 25 or a 50-gallon barrel. So I know you can get the 50-gallon barrels sometimes on the list that belongs to Craig. You know, you have to be really careful on here, but what you can and can't say. And I just thought that would be a lot easier. I'd probably only have to fill that once a week, if even that. And plus, it would have a bigger surface area open on the top. It would catch more rain. So I do have green pepper in here, but it's supposed to turn yellow. I haven't let any of them turn yellow yet. So I'm going to wait on that one. I did grab, oh, let's see. Maybe there's 2. Yeah, I've got 2 of them growing there. Guys, I have rarely had any success with green peppers. So I don't even care if they're small. I am loving the fact that they're actually growing. So let me see. Marlo, I'm good. How are you? And I'm sorry I missed I missed all your likes and your heart me. Thank you so much. I'm doing well, Marlo. Thank you for those gifts too. I really appreciate it. So it's a little bit cooler here. So I'm actually able to bring you guys out with me. I hope I'm not glitching. You guys just have to tell me if I start to glitch. Let's get you right here. So this, I was just showing you the grow bags and the watering system. Right behind it is the only raised bed I have in the front yard. I made it in 2020 when I had some extra time on my hands. Even though I just remembered, I had a boot. Why did I have a boot? Oh, that was for my ankle. I was trying to, I actually left my warehouse job in 2020, right when everything hit. So I was already headed home, but I couldn't remember, like, why did I have my foot in a boot? And that was why. And I went through physical therapy and all of that. really just before I took off some medical time from my job, and then just before my physical therapy was done, everything hit and they closed up anyway. But yeah, I ended up getting better. Hey, thank you for that. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. And I built this, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy treated wood. I'm going to, do it the right way without the chemicals and everything. Hey, thanks, Mackenzie. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that so much. And the wood was already warped when I bought it, and I didn't know that. I'm trying to get you guys where you can see a little bit. My grass is still very high. And yeah, it has just slowly, so I never did get it lined up very well. And it has just slowly pulled apart. So this is not a raised bed that's going to last forever. But I had put a male and a female, it was over here, you couldn't see me pointing, cold hardy kiwi in this bed. That was the whole reason I built the bed. I didn't do my research like I should have. I did not realize that those can get up to 150 pounds of fruit per plant. And last year it was loaded with blooms, loaded with fruit, and they taste like a kiwi. They smell like a kiwi. They are smaller, and their skin is not fuzzy. You eat the skin. I probably am not, I hope I'm not exaggerating. I try really hard not to exaggerate. So I'll guess low. Probably at least 50 pounds of fruit on one. The male didn't produce any fruit. It was all on the female. Imagine that. And the birds got all of them when they were still tiny. They had not ripened. They still needed to ripen for like 6 weeks. It's kind of like a slow thing, the fruit, like apples and peaches and pears, and those, they take a long time. The birds wiped them out. I didn't know I was supposed to cover them and everything. So these plants grow ferociously. They are massive. And last fall, I just cut them down because they're not in a good place. The roots are still in there. They are still trying to grow. And I don't know, if I get real adventurous here this fall, I might try to transplant the roots. Yeah, Marlo, I just would have to put bird net over them for, it would be months. It would be months. After I got them, I did watch a video online about how to grow them. I should have watched it first. And it was 2 farmers out in Oklahoma, and they're literally putting up like those T-shape posts, burying the posts several feet into the ground, doing the really thick guide wire type. That's what they said you had to have for these. And I'm like, I had a little cattle panel. Like, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. And I left them. They weren't producing. They filled in the cattle panel. And I was cutting off, oh goodness, 30, 40, 50 feet of vines twice a year at least. And then last year when they bloomed, they smelled magnificent. They smelled amazing. I was like, yes, I'm going to get a huge, boatload of food off of these. And then the birds just wiped them out within 2 weeks of them popping on there. By no means ripe. And the vines were so sturdy, like a bird even built a nest in there and raised its babies. Okay, so let me see. We have 2 for that sounds very cool. We have 2 for your choke cherries. What do you do for your choke cherries? Like the big, oops, I accidentally sent someone an invitation. Please don't answer it. That was an accident. My thumb slid. So you mean like the T-bar thing with the big guide wire? Marlo, is that? Oh, cover them. Okay. Well, I'm just used to like my red raspberries and my blackberries. I don't really have to cover them until they start to get ripe. The birds won't eat them when they're green. So I was clueless. I had no idea. But the root systems are still in there. I could totally try to transplant them this fall. I'm actually going behind here to see if anything is ripe. I'm still here. Tomatoes are doing great on the cattle panel. Got some good soil in there, I guess. Okay, so, so if you've been with me before, hey, iridescents, hey. Thanks for hopping in. So I'm going to flip you guys around real quick. These are, in my live, a little while back, we, can I see what the blackberries look like? Those are in the backyard, Emily, if you'll hang on for just a little bit. And they're all done. So, you know, it's time for me to prune them and everything, which I haven't done yet. But if you hang with me for just a little bit, we can do that. These are 3 tomatoes that we propagated from other tomato plants. I had accidentally cut pieces off when I was pruning, stuck them in water. They started rooting. I actually had 5. 2 of them did not survive the transplant shock, but these 3 are doing, now I don't know which, because I had accidentally cut them off. I don't know what varieties these are, but that one's starting to get some. And this one is the only cherry that I grew this year. And this is what they do. They grow in bunches like that. And they're yellow. And they have this little pointy tip on the bottom. But this is the healthiest one of those. It's been very susceptible to blight. So I'm excited to have a healthy one right here. And look at all those blooms. I mean, I'm going to have tons of these little cherry tomatoes if they keep going like that. And then I don't know what this one is. And it looks like it actually needs, they all need a little pruning. Everything needs a little pruning. Let me get you guys flipped around again. Okay, let's go over here. I think I basically just see flowers over here, which I will come back and get in a little while and put them in the little jars that I have for the farm stand. Okay, over here. So this bed is just, okay, so when we moved in, they had this is like one of those knockout rose bushes. It's actually not, this is like the worst it's ever looked. I don't know if it's that sunflower that's bothering it. It does not look healthy at all. And that thing has been resilient. So I don't know what's going on there. But they had that, and then they had a flower bed that came to right here. And I have just slowly expanded it all the way to the sidewalk. And it is very overgrown with weeds. I do know this. Again, trying to keep up. Lavender is getting some more little buds, blooms on it. I didn't know it would do a second round of blooms. I harvested a huge amount of oregano earlier, but I think I'm going to do some more because I can dry it and maybe try to put some on my little front porch farm stand. I don't know if you can see back there, got some green peppers coming in. But yeah, this is the next bed I need to tackle because it's just way overgrown. Didn't think my cabbage was going to do anything, so I haven't taken care of it. So it's very bug-eaten, but I'm actually getting a little cabbage there. I harvested a little one right before our vacation as well. Need to get all those yellow leaves off of there. This is one of my vertical planters. The other one was right over here. that blue one. Basically had this idea and didn't know how to execute my idea, but my friend's husband did. And so I'm very thankful for them. I can get this one, I can get over 50 plants on the outside in these little pockets, plus a few more in the top. And on that one, I think it's like 42 little pockets that I can get plants in. And let me show you this. This is what's going to go in those. They need to be tended to. The kale needs to completely come out. Iridescence, thank you so much, friend. Thank you, thank you. So I've got this arugula. Thank you, Iridescence. And a couple of different kinds of leaf lettuce down here that I'm going to be putting into those if the weather stays cool. If not, here is a question for my fellow gardeners. I am going to pin something real quick just for this reason. Oh, Iridescence, thank you so much, friend. That was very kind of you. I'm sorry, I didn't have my sound up. I didn't hear. Thank you so much, friend. And you're the title gifter on the roses. Thank you. That is so nice of you. So there is something down here I want to ask you guys about. So this kind of stuff. Okay. Has anybody ever used this for shade cloth? Not just frost and freeze cloth. Because I have some of this already, and I'm thinking I will just create like a little tent kind of thing over this barrel, on the sides of it. I don't know. I mean, it probably tells me down in there. It says 540 count heat shrink wire connectors. Electric terminals. See, that doesn't even look like that's listing the right thing. It's a plant cover. That's not even the right name on the listing. Okay, I need to find another listing for my showcase. Don't buy that. Let me unpin it because I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on. 3% UV, so it blocks 3%. I guess. Hi, Wildflower Farm. I don't know if you're still in here, but how you doing? 3%. So I guess it blocks 3%. I know Wildflower Farm said I needed 30% for my area. So maybe that wouldn't be enough. I just didn't want this late in the season to buy a, more of like the tarp, the shade cloth tarp thing. Okay, so am I glitching at all? Like a 30% shade cloth blocks 30%. Yes. Yes. I don't think it would hurt to try it. Yeah, I mean, it's only in the 70s for a few days here. I might have some burlap I could throw over it too if I felt like it was getting too wimpy. But plus, here, let me show you. This is the north side. So it's not going to get, and that's pretty much like, I was going to take this kale out and then go around, and this sunflower has to come down. These peppers are never going to do anything. They're still so small, and it's probably too late, but I couldn't bring myself to take down this sunflower. But I definitely have a lot more space on the north side of, well, actually all around that blue one. The kale was pretty much the only thing growing in the side of that, so I can get that out of there. The arugula needs a couple more days outside. And hey, we had another Texan in here a little while ago, Asian Silk. We had another Texan in. They never said where they were from in Texas, but they were from Texas. So, yeah, I will. Thanks for hopping in, Asian Silk Prince. That's an awesome name. Not finding too much to harvest today. Oh wait, here's a little Korean long. Looks like maybe 2 of them actually. Let me get you guys flipped around so I know that I'm staying on screen here. So I definitely have really liked these Korean longs. I'm not getting a huge amount of them, but I know why. I don't know if you guys can see this. It is very, very viney. It just vines everywhere. So I really need to have that on a cattle panel. It has had issues with blight, but has still been resilient. So I definitely want to just start using that. And I will still grow Amish paste and San Marzanos, but I mean, for as much blight issues as I have had, there's 2 more back here. Same, oops, oh, I dropped it. Same thing. Lots of issues with blight. And I don't know if you guys know this, but heirloom tomatoes have a tendency to be susceptible to blight. They haven't been bred to be disease resistant. Oh no, when I dropped it, I got a split in it. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that on my counter. But even as much issue as it has had, it has still been producing tomatoes. Not a huge amount. Somebody's mowing. Not a huge amount, but we've had some. And so I'm just imagining that if I can get them in a better place, like on a cattle panel or those really big round tomato cages that I have, I think they will do fantastic. I mean, I know you guys can't fully see, but this one just has those brown leaves everywhere, and there's still 10 tomatoes on it. So I definitely need to keep growing these Korean longs. And I just broke a stem on the zinnias there. That's okay. So if anybody's wondering why all of my plants are so close together, it's because nobody bought them locally from me. Do you have any brown bags? Maybe put the split tomato in a bag. Yes. Yes. Perfect idea. Thank you, Iridescence. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, it's okay, baby. It's okay. We got a finch caught in my butterfly net here. Oh no, don't go out that way. That's no. Let me lift it up. Let me lift it up. There you go. Whew. I hate it when that happens. I don't know how they get under there. Okay. I know. I hate it when that happens. Only one time have I ever come out and one has not been kosher. So, okay, we got another banana pepper. I have tons of banana peppers. It's because these things come up out of the ground. I don't even know. I guess it was probably trying to get to the zinnias. I don't even know why it would have been in there. So this is right, like the street, the berm and the street is right behind you guys. But I put these hot peppers out here because I didn't think the deer and stuff would eat them. And so far, so good. So got some jalapenos ready. And I lost track of what my different, I know I had a, let's see, it's called a brown jalapeno, which tastes just exactly the same. The only difference is it turns brown instead of red. I grew those last year as well. And then I also have what was called a Tom jalapeno. And it is not spicy. I'm going to let those go a little bit longer, but they will turn red. So kind of a little bit of a reverse that the red ones are not spicy. Softball Life, thank you for connecting with me. Oh, and I saw someone else just did too, and I will get you highlighted next, Chandelier. I don't know. The zinnias are kind of half under the net and half not. So I'm guessing maybe it was just kind of hopping along the zinnias and then got stuck. I did not intend to cover the zinnias with the net. They just grew up under it. But those zinnias are wild. They have taken off like wild. You guys, thank you for connecting with me. Thank you, Chandelier. Pretty much my whole yard. You know, there's some paths to walk on. I haven't been able to get out here with you guys because of my phone overheating. So this is a rare treat. But all of these sunflowers were volunteer. So this bed pretty much didn't produce anything this year. I've gotten a couple of tomatoes, but the onions that were underneath there, I'm actually going to try them as onion sets next year just to see what happens. My sunflowers are burnt. Well, so mine have been like that. That might be like the actual, yeah, that one just needs to completely come down. I think it's because we didn't have any rain for a while. We had so much rain before we left on vacation. And then I thought I saw red in here. I did. I just positioned wrong here. We had so much rain, and this needs tied up better. Did I bring my rope or my... I did not. And then we went on vacation, and I told my friend, oh, it's rained so much, you don't need to water anything. And then they had no rain. And we were only gone like 5 days total. Oh no, I missed this one. We'll give this one to the chickens in the backyard, and we'll watch the chickens eat that. We'll go do that now. Wait, no, I got to stop and get these banana peppers or I'll forget. Lots of banana peppers this year. And I have a good recipe for them. It is, I found it on Pinterest, so it's not mine, but it's, they call it a hot and spicy mustard. You've had a lot of these. So that's why I normally, let's see, that was Softball Life who said that. Yeah, so normally, now this is a white tomato, so it's not going to do a lot anyway, but you can see where it was green. I start picking them when they start to turn color, or blush is what we call it. Then they won't do that. And they will still ripen on your counter. It keeps bugs out of them. This has probably happened because we didn't have rain for a long time, and then it rained and it swelled with all of the water, and it did that. You can see even before I dropped it and it split, this one was already starting to split. Sometimes I just miss them. So let me get you guys here. I'll turn you around so you can see things as we're going. I don't know if Emily is still in here, but we're headed to the back where the blackberries are, but they're not really much to look at right now. Just checking these plants as we're going by. Okay, this was a volunteer tomato, some type of cherry. I don't think it's the same one I had that I showed you in the front yard there. These are the only 2 pumpkin plants I have left. And there were squash beetles all over them. Yep, there they are still. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. I just squished them, guys. I'm sorry. I just squished them. I could take them to my chickens, I guess. My flower farmer friend actually told me what you're supposed to do. I'm just so scared to do it. I guess our farmer friend actually told me what you're supposed to do. I'm just so scared to do it. I guess you take an X-Acto knife and you slice into it here. I guess you take an X-Acto knife and you slice into it here. What was that? That was something green. Was that a grub? Oh, okay. So I guess you slice into it here and there will be a grub in there and then it will heal. I mean, you get the grub out and then this will heal back. And she did it 2 years ago, she said, and it worked like a charm. Has anybody else ever heard that? Yes, softball life. I have lost, like, you're going to see as we go by, I've lost like 5 pumpkin plants back here. I lost 3 in the front. And between 2 different plantings, I lost 8 zucchini. So this is all the leeks. And see, there's more of that viney stuff. I need to get that under control. It won't hurt the leeks, though. Here's my girls. And we'll just... I had no squash or zucchini this... Yeah, I know. Me too. I did get some yellow squash early in the season. Okay, now I only have one, so you're going to have to share. I'll bring you guys in here because they are quite humorous when they do this. Okay. Ooh, I can tell we need to clean out your... Okay, let me in. Somebody's toes in the way. Starting to molt. One of the lavenders. I think it's her. Okay, here we go. But you need to share. Yes, Wendy. I know. They had did that with my pumpkin plants too. Okay, share. Share. I talk to them like they know what I'm saying. Be nice. There's enough for everybody. I should have put it in one of their bags and just let them peck at it. I wasn't even thinking. Okay. Where is it? Oh, you got a little bit, Bellatrix? Did you get a little piece off? And now they're all going to follow you while the big one is still back here. And they're still working on it. I know. I have having chickens. I always wanted them. And the story is 2020. My friend's friend got in Kentucky, if you go to like Tractor Supply or something like that, you have to get 6. She brought home 6. Apparently one of them did not make it. So she had 5, and they found out because she brought some home that her husband was allergic. So she was in a huge hurry to get rid of them. And so I ended up with 5, and her, Lydia, and that brown one there, Kitty, they're the only 2 left of my original 5. But they're pretty awesome. Yeah, well, why don't you go get, don't look at me. I don't have anything else. You need to go get that mater. Anywho, they certainly are fun, but I am going to have to get some more chicks next winter or spring, probably more in the spring. But we have a hatchery over in Cincinnati that has a lot more options than what you can get at the, like Tractor Supply or something. So this is what I mean by they start to blush, and I pull them because it's going to rain again and I don't want these to split. But they will ripen and they will still be much better than anything you get at the grocery store. Because the grocery store gets green tomatoes that then are taken to the store or like the wholesale, distribution center, and they gas them. And that's how they turn red. That's why the ones at the store always taste like they're not ripe, because they aren't. Okay, so here's the start of my blackberry patch. It technically is down here and it's very all overgrown, very, very much. Definitely need to put the fungicide on them because I had a lot of this stuff going on this year. All this needs cleared out. All of my rotten peaches got thrown in here. This is all coming up. I've got about only like 6 strawberry plants left in this. I lost 90% of my strawberry plants last year. Still got a few strawberries, but not very many. I usually get about 5 gallon. So I've got a few plants in here that are going to be transplanted over into the raised beds that I added this year. That one first. And then all of this wood is coming up, and I have a raised bed. Well, it's exactly like that one where we stopped with the squash bugs, and it's like 5 foot 8 inches, and it's going to go in here. So it's pretty narrow, so it'll make it wider for me to get in here so I can actually redo all these blackberries. I've just got basically like chicken wire holding these things up, and I really need cattle panels. And there's all kinds of weeds in there. There's even asparagus in here that I couldn't even get to this year. So, because the blackberries started out down here and they're slowly moving this way as these trees grow. So I know they're just trying to get to the sunlight. But gonna have some tomatoes in here eventually. Got a few here and there. My stuff in the backyard just does not do as well because it doesn't get as much sunlight. These are 2 of the raised beds I put in this year. I had tried to make this a raised bed just with wood, and I had terrible weeds just coming up through it all the time. So these were actually 2 samples that I got from a company, which they're still down there in that showcase. But they've done really well. And so I didn't even show you guys this bed over here. So here's their nesting boxes. I can get their eggs out without having to go inside. This bed is from A and Leo Life. Really good, high quality bed. But what I used to have here was a tire bed. I got all kinds of tires from people, or when we changed the tires on our bed or on our car, and I had them stacked in here, and they always settled. They were never level. So I took all the tires and did this a few places around the yard. And this company gave me this sample. It's a very nice bed. If you're looking for a high quality galvanized steel bed, it's a nice one. But then when all of these black beans quit attacking this currant bush, it made space in between here. I'm going to inoculate. I'm going to use where I have mycelium for my mushroom bed over this way. I need to get some fresh wood chips, get them down in here, and then I can inoculate this area. I'll pull out the chicken wire when all of this is done. Might actually have to wait till next spring. And when the mycelium's running, because I don't think it's running right now. I need to double check. But then this currant bush will provide it a nice area of shade where I can start a second wine cap bed of mushrooms. And I'm totally I'm not even sure I should say the word. A Myco, M-Y-C-O, newbie. That's probably the easiest way for me to say it. The best way that I won't get in trouble. Kentucky Wonder Pole beans. Got to grab some of those. So I unfortunately probably can't answer any of your Myco questions, but I bought the spore through North Spore. think that's what it's called. North Spore Company, I think. If you're interested, I can send me a DM and ask me about it, and I can get the right info to you. But basically, they just send you a block of the spore and tell you how to set it up. And I really waited too late last year, so I didn't get, I think I got 1 or 2. And actually, I missed a couple. They grow super fast, so I had missed a few. But I ended up getting quite a few this year, and I was able to dehydrate them and vacuum seal them in a jar. So then I can rehydrate. I've rehydrated them for pizza. You can rehydrate them for soup or a casserole or something. It just wouldn't be like a fresh eating mushroom. But we did a lot of that too on salads and stuff when they were ready. Okay, this is hard to see. Every year, I don't grow these every year, but when I grow them, they're hard to see because you basically have to wait until they hang down. And if any of them don't hang down, then I don't see them. And then they get too big and they get hard and they just don't taste quite as good when that happens. But this was from some seed we planted in this was when I was doing garden TikTok shop lives. I was doing like 3 hours on each weekend day, Saturday and Sunday, just TikTok shop gardening. And people had lots of questions, and I didn't know. I thought I was always supposed to have something pinned on here, and I felt bad that and if you have something pinned, you're supposed to be talking about the product. Well, now all of these live hosts are just putting random products in their shopping cart. And I was like, okay, well, I can put things that I regularly use. It's not random. And if anybody has a question. But anyway, we planted these in one of those lives, and it would have been maybe about mid-May. And my favorite are pole beans. My absolute favorite. But they take a long time to harvest because the plant just grows and grows and grows and grows. Let me get you up here so you can see a little bit better. By the time it's grown out here, my tomatoes are actually going through this netting as well. So let me show you that. I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes. I can tell. Okay, so, I just have to come along every few days and try to tuck this stuff in. And the only way I know to do it is to go from the underneath because I can't reach it otherwise. And just try to find the right vine. But it is sagging quite a bit because you can see these tomato plants. I had no clue these tomato plants were going to get that big. They have just taken over. They're all coming out through here. I pulled this super tight when we did that in one of my gardening lives too. I had some old net on there and it looked like this. It was all saggy. So I pulled this super tight and those tomatoes are just weighing it down. They're just absolutely weighing it down. I'm thrilled to have the tomatoes. Those are the Blue Beauties, and they are delicious. But they're wrecking my new netting. Okay, I only planted 1 okra, and it was Crimson Spineless, also out of TikTok Shop seed, just like the green beans were. I think by far okra has the prettiest blooms in the garden. That doesn't look like it should be on a vegetable plant. That looks like something tropical. And I wish there was a way to take those and do something with them. But you can see I'm going to have a lot of okra. That's why I only plant one plant because we are not big okra eaters. We like it. We like it, but it's not like we eat it all the time. I can freeze it. I have in an air fryer, I have made French fries with it, and that's yummy. Very yummy. Over here's where my mushrooms will be. You guys were with me while I got all of the peaches off of these. I do have more grates here. It's very sad and it's falling over because I've not had time to tend to it this year at all. So I imagine the birds have gotten them all, and that's okay. I've got plenty in the front yard still. But my goal was, there's 2 apple trees here, and I was cutting them down. I cut them back, and it regrew. And I was going to extend the grapes that way and get this out of here, get something more sturdy, because this is falling over from the weight. And then these are my red raspberries, all done. I need to get in that thicket and clean it out. I don't even know what that is. I think that's thornless black raspberry that came up volunteer over here. And this pear tree has to at least be topped off, if not completely come down this year, because that's supposed to be a dwarf tree. And I know that means circumference, not height, but it's got a massive circumference too. And it has never given me a single fruit in 5 years. So it has to go because it's shading too much over here. I'm trying to move my red raspberries into more sunlight, and this is causing a problem. Okay, so let me just finish up back here. This is really kind of embarrassing to show you guys all this mess. Got some, oh, I'm going to leave those. Those are daytil peppers. Those are spicy. I am not going to pull them until they turn red so that I know exactly which ones they are. Has anybody ever grown ground cherries? Husk cherries. They are my favorite thing. Now that one's actually a little green. You know they're ripe. When they fall on the ground. That's why they're called ground cherries. Same family as tomatillos, but sweet. Literally, I eat them like fruit. I mean, they are fruit, but you know, like tomatoes fruit too, and I wouldn't eat it like that. This was a volunteer plant. Some of the best ground cherries, husk cherries I ever get are volunteer. So they just come on like this, like a little tomatillo. Hey, thanks for connecting with me. Midnight, thank you. They just stay small. They start to turn yellow, ripen, and they will just kind of start to ripen, and the skin will start to dry out, and they'll fall, and then they're ripe. If you ever have a chance to grow ground cherries, husk cherries, name is interchangeable, you should do it because they are so tasty. And this one has this pepper plant is struggling. Oh, look down there, a hidden tomato I didn't see because everything is overgrown. This one's had a few. It's just falling over. Oh my gosh. And then this property behind us does not belong to us, but it encroaches. And like, that's a long story, but I hope to own that property someday so I can clear all of this out. But that's not happening yet. And then I have one cushaw over here. One cushaw. That's going to be my one squash. And she looks great. She's doing great. Except, looks like groundhog might be trying to eat her. This bed works great, but look how sad those tomatoes are because they can't get dried out. Stuff back here, because of these big trees, cannot get dried out. It's so frustrating. There's no breeze back here at all. Okay, I just remembered I've got a bunch of rhubarb back here to get to. Okay, these are starting to blush, so I'm going to go ahead and get them. Another one of the tire towers that I did, and this is the other side of the blackberries. So we've just made a big circle around there. Is anybody even still in here, or am I just talking to myself? I know sometimes people just listen while they're at work or something, so I understand. Let's just grab that big weed. Although that's not much in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Let's get our rhubarb. I'm not going to harvest these. I need to. Oh, I so very much need to harvest these leeks. But I can't. I'm just overwhelmed with stuff inside right now. And I know, like, here's the thing with leeks. Worst case scenario, what they do is they produce another little bulb. It's almost like a little bulb down at the base of the root. And you'll just get a free volunteer leek next year. Now they can split if they get dried out or if they get too big, that kind of stuff. They can split, but they'll still be edible. Leeks are like one of my favorite things to grow just because they are so hands-off. I just fertilize them when I fertilize everything else. There's no like garlic where you have the garlic scapes that you have to take off or they go to seed. That doesn't happen. I did see one little flowering leek in here. This dill is volunteer. I'm trying to get to this vine. I can't find out where it's coming from. Oh, and if you were in here when I was inside after I'd harvested leeks and we were talking about like maybe I could dehydrate the top of these green stems like you do with green onion, I did it and they were not tasty at all. They had no taste. So yeah, just I'll grab one here. I mean, I've had leeks over winter before and they're perfectly fine. They were smaller than this, and these are not huge. So just like an onion, you just cut that off. I usually cut it about right here so you lose all of this. I mean, I can compost it, but there's no edible purpose for it. So I'm just going to throw that over here behind me into one of the beds. But there's not a super great way to preserve these other than freezing. So what I have to do, cut all that off, get rid of all that. Then you have to slice them this way, open up all the layers. You don't have to take them apart. You just have to be able to run water through all of those layers because you will get dirt inside those layers, especially most of the leeks in the store are grown in sand. Makes it loamier. They grow better. That's how you get those really big leeks. I don't do that because I've got 100 just for me. I don't need that many leeks. You can maybe put some of these on the farm stand. But Yeah, so then I just chop it. And so you're like crescent shape pieces. And I just chop them and stick them in the freezer. But, you have to, after you've washed them, I meant to say, you have to be really careful about not getting all that water in your leeks to go in the freezer, because you don't want them to just be a watery, mushy mess. So I don't remember. Maybe I used a salad spinner. Maybe. I can't really remember. Girls, you can't have that. That would upset your tummies. Okay, so last thing we're going to do here is harvest some of this rhubarb. I am still getting rhubarb. Probably if I tip you, you'll see better then. Thanks for continuing to come in, guys. So most people think rhubarb is just a spring item. Mine, as long as I get it watered, as long as I get it watered, it keeps growing. So this might not be as big as some rhubarb that you will see, but it's enough for us. And I've already frozen quite a bit. If you were hanging with me back in June, I was making some things with rhubarb. I'll probably do something with this for the farm stand that I just started. Make some rhubarb scones, which is what we did. Is that what we did? No. What did we do? We did rhubarb bread. I think we did rhubarb bread in the live. Guys, if you ever miss one of the lives and we're talking about, something that happened recently, TikTok does save the last 30 days and you can see them from my profile. So you go, oops, I just realized I'm like flashing you guys accidentally. You go to my profile and you'll see those buttons that say subscription, showcase, those kind of things. The one that says live, you just click on there and the last 30 days of lives are there. And I didn't do any other than a sunrise one from the beach when I was on vacation. So there's not like 30 full episodes there, but there's quite a few and you can see what we've been doing. The only thing you can't see is it doesn't include the chat, but I never thought about it, but I do try to read out loud and call out a lot of the things that people ask, because I know people are listening sometimes instead of being able to watch. Okay, so quite a few rhubarb still. And I didn't even think to check it on the other ones. And you do not eat these. You never eat these. They are toxic. They have, gonna test my memory here. It creates oxalic acid, I think. So you don't even want to compost it. It harms your kidneys is what it does. So you don't want to feed it to your animals. You don't want to feed it to your chickens. Get you guys straightened out here a bit. Hey, Brittany. Thanks for hopping in. And Crystal Ann, thank you for connecting with me. See if I missed anything else while I was down there. Lori, I will get you highlighted in. Yes, and I'm sorry I missed this. Artie, about the ground cherries. Man, I missed that comment way back. Yes, definitely be looking for the ground cherries. Fairly easy to grow. Hey, Brittany, thank you so much, friend. Thank you so much. That was very kind of you. You're always very kind to hop in. I appreciate it so much. Oh, and I didn't get... This is what happens when I don't have a moderator. I'm taking people off of there too fast. I am so sorry. That was Lori. I am so sorry. I got you off of that highlight too fast. I will get you back on there. Those moderators who do those big rooms, man, they do a fantastic job. Because there's a lot going on. Some of those rooms that have 500 to 1,000 people, I cannot imagine trying to moderate for that. That would be Wild, wild, wild times. So this feels pretty heavy, guys. I really didn't think we were going to get a lot today. It feels pretty heavy. Oh, surprise, surprise. I had a delivery. Almost every time. Almost every time. So I'm going to sit and get a drink, and we're going to get Lori highlighted again here. Guys, if she is still in here, connect with her. She's new. Connect with all these new people. We had Crystal Ann just joined us. Brittany is awesome. She's in here regularly. And a lot of the regulars, guys, they are very supportive. That Mackenzie, when she, that, I shouldn't say that. The Mackenzie, when she hops in, like she just goes around to people's lives and like does the check-in with the heart me, and she'll share it out and she'll tap it out and all that kind of stuff. Kind of what Brittany's doing. But I went into one of Mackenzie's lives and I heard her saying like, she just like goes around and does that intentionally to support people. And that is so kind. Lulu, thank you for connecting with me so much. What is that little sticker? What is that? They got little stickers? I don't even know what that is. It's so cute though. Is it like two friends or holding the little heart, holding the little heart. That is so cute, Brittany. Okay, so it says, the fan club has completed the first stage of the club quest. Club cheers have been unlocked for all fans to send and celebrate. I don't know what that means. I accidentally sent another invitation. Gail, if you're in here, please don't accept that. That was an accident. Okay, I needed to drink a coffee. So, you guys tell me, what are y'all growing at your place? Or what are you, maybe you don't grow things, maybe you get things from the farmer's market. Like, what are you preserving? What are you buying to cook with or to eat fresh? Like, do you guys have, are pears ready anywhere? Peaches ready anywhere? Let's see. I don't know. Oh, shoot. I did have my backup account here trying to, I thought I could moderate from it, but I can't. Basically, the chat freezes up. The chat freezes up while, because it's just an old phone. That's what I use. Anyway, you guys, if you are coming in here, I understand being quiet. That's okay. That's okay. But if you would connect with me, do the heart me, share it out, tap it out so this number would go up. Also, what else? Oh, you can press down right here and share from your friends that pop up, and that share gets this chat moving. Like if you share it out to 10 friends, when that pops up, you get 10 different lines on the chat, and that gets the chat moving. So my name is Angela, and we just did like a full tour around my urban farm, except for this side of the house because there's nothing over there. It's supposed to be a flower bed with stepping stones. Didn't get it done this year. But goals, right? So I actually am an urban farmer, a mama, a wife, a Grammy, a Christian, and I do TikTok shop in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. Just today, I decided to dive in. Really don't have the whole thing planned out, but I'm doing a little front porch farm stand. Advertised it on Marketplace and Nextdoor. Hey, thank you for that, Mystic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see that. And Nextdoor. Hey, thank you for that, Mystic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see that. That is so very nice of you. Prepping to go spread some love. Have an amazing, popping by. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you, Mystic Jack. Thank you. I appreciate those populars too. That is very nice of you. That is very kind of you, friend. Thank you. So, oh yeah, I never added another goal. So let's see. I'm sorry. I don't like to mess with this too much while I'm going live. There we go. Okay. So trying to think. Mystic, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That is very nice of you. Marla, thank you for following me. Guys, I do follow you back after. Thanks for that, Marla. Marla? Am I saying your name right? Marla? Monetization. Thank you so much. I do connect back with you after the live is over, unless you have a private account. I respect your privacy. I won't do that. But let's see. You guys can connect with each other as well. I know this isn't like the other kind of growing live. This is like growing vegetables live. But we are going to weigh this and see. I was just taking a little break here because, man, the humidity is really rough. Thanks for hopping in, Marla. Thank you. But we are... Oh, the only other thing is if you want to do the gifts, a lot of people just do that to like say thank you for the information that you're giving me. That's what those are. If you're new to TikTok and you don't understand what's going on when people do that. And then that star is the subscription. And I know the subscriptions are changing, but for right now, it's like $3 a month. And what I personally provide to my subscribers is long form content that is subscriber only. So like the last one I put up, and I do one of those a week. There's 7 out there so far. The last one was how to learn how to can tomato juice. One of the simplest, easiest things you can learn how to preserve is learning how to water bath canned tomato juice. So those are available out there for subscribers. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. I switch over to a subscriber only live. You're welcome to hop on screen with me if you want. We just talk about whatever the subscribers want to talk about for that day. And it's not just gardening. It's all kinds of things. Homeschooling, TikTok shop, anything that the subscribers want to talk about. Now for both of those things, you can get a free preview. Like I think it's 10 seconds on the video, 60 seconds on the live. So you can check it out, see if that's anything that you're interested in. But I do know the subscription thing is changing, but they're changing it right about the time that we are supposed to be getting moved over to another app. So I don't know how all that's going to play out. I'm assuming those changes will go with us, but I don't know for sure. Nobody consulted me, right? And that's okay. I don't need to be consulted about those big things. I got enough things to do. Okay, so before I weigh this, I'm going to cut these leaves off of the rhubarb because we don't want to weigh that. This is pretty heavy. Let me get you guys down here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I don't need to be front and center. Okay, so I'm actually having issues with my scissors, so I'm going to use my pruners to do this. But just taking those leaves off, throwing them on the patio. Do not want those anywhere in my house. I throw them in the trash outside because you don't want cats or dogs or anybody to nibble on this. It can hurt your kidneys and probably actually really harm animals. Don't want them to compost. And maybe, I don't know if anybody can explain to me. I find this very interesting, but this and chard are in the same family. So if you ever have rainbow chard, Swiss chard, the stalks are smaller, but there's still a little bit of a stalk. And I love rainbow chard, and I never got any planted this year. Time just got away from me. But that's what I usually switch over to make my salads with for the summer because they'll just keep growing. They don't go to seed like lettuce does. They don't bolt. In the same family, but the charred leaves are edible. That's what we eat, right? I usually pull the stalk off of those because it's a little chewy. But you can pickle those stalks for the rainbow chard. I've found recipes to do that. I haven't done it, but I have found recipes. Okay. So let me get out of here anything that we don't want to weigh. I think I found, we had a few things fall on the floor here. 2 of them fell out. Chard is so nutritious, but I don't like it much. Oh, mushroom. I love it. Now, I will grant you, I'm not a big fan of just like the green Swiss chard. I usually plant the rainbow, so it'll have orange stalks. The leaves are still green, but I'll show you on this one since they're in the same family. The veins on the leaf, they'll actually be like orange in here. It'll be a very deep, dark green leaf, but I've had some that are pink, red. The ruby red is gorgeous. I like the orange. The orange is a little more faint. Yellow is orange isn't faint. It's the yellow one that's faint. So all of this will be that color of whatever the rainbow chard is. Ruby red, yellow, orange. What else have I grown? I guess that's primarily it. Then there'll be like the white ones for the Swiss chard that are in there too. Now I will, let's see if I can find one. I will get them when they're baby. If we're talking about chard, not rhubarb, I'll get them baby when they're like this and just chop them up and put them in a salad. Then when they get bigger, because you know chard gets big just like this, might even be bigger. When I get behind harvesting it, they'll be huge, and they don't get bitter. That's what I like in the summer. They don't bolt and they don't get bitter. Yeah, you'll have to ask him if he's ever tried the rainbow ones. But then I can literally like put a cooked hamburger in here with my onion, my ketchup, my mustard, whatever, and use this as a bun. Not this one, because it's rhubarb, but very tasty. You know, save some calories, save some carbs. Very tasty to use chard leaves as a bun. You can use it as a taco too. That'd be a little bit messier. But I definitely like to do the rainbow chard. Hey, Jess. Hey. Definitely like to have that for summertime. Once the lettuce has bolted and gone to seed, usually that's about the time that the chard is just exploding and doing very, very well. Okay, so I'm going to get you guys turned around here while we weigh this. I have used collards as a, yes, same principle, mushroom, same principle. Pardon me, definitely. Okay, so let me get you guys tipped here. Do this properly so you guys can see. Tight quarters here. Get my husband's Crocs out of the way. There's always something. Okay, so I always zero out our scale. Might have to do this twice because I don't think the rhubarb's going to fit in there after we get all of the... Okay, there's a bug. Get out, bug. I don't want to weigh you. Get out. Come on. It's a mosquito. I don't really care if I squish it. Okay, here we go. The most we've had in a day was a couple evenings ago. I did a pop-up live, and I think it was like 6 pounds, 7 ounces. The largest tomato we've had was 1 pound, 7 ounces, I think. I hope I'm not conflating those two and getting something wrong. But what are we at? Almost at 3.5 here. That's 3.5 is about average for right now. Okay. And I've got 50 leeks out there that are ready that I could harvest. And the other night when I weighed that 6.5 pounds, I had about 5 or 6 more pounds of grapes I forgot to weigh. Okay, we're still going. Let's go ahead and get the grapes in here, or the green beans. My mouth can't keep up with my brain. I've got enough green beans to like saute for a couple of meals. I don't really have enough to can. Okay, so what are we at? 4 pounds, 9 ounces. Let me get my scissors out of here. And we will get that back in, and then I still need to weigh the rhubarb. Does that zero back out? Yep. Okay, now this is a little difficult because it's going to lean over. I guess it still weighs it, right? So, what was 4 pounds? Was it 4 pounds, 5 ounces? I should have written it down. So 5 pounds, 10 ounces. So still not our biggest harvest. Mushroom, you're vegan. Very interesting. My daughter is mostly vegan. She eats seafood every once in a while. Not very often. But she also did gluten-free for years because of digestive issues, and she kind of healed her gut and can have bread sometimes now. But yeah, I ate vegan one time for 9 months, but ate way too many carbs to make up the difference and ended up not feeling well. This was before social media, really. Well, kind of right at the start of like Facebook, but people weren't posting about that kind of stuff. They were trying to connect with like high school friends and stuff. So I just didn't know. I didn't have the resources to know how to like make up the difference. And I started in the winter eating vegan, which around here is rough, but I did it. But we ate like those Quorn, Quorn. Like I ate a lot of that, which is from Nico. Am I saying that? Nico protein. Am I saying that right? Mushroom protein. It was very tasty. Don't know how healthy it was, but pescatarian, as are 2 kids. 2 are vegan. They are all adults now. Awesome. My husband always says he could live on fish, but yeah, I don't think he could. If carbs weren't a problem, I could be vegan. The problem was I wasn't eating enough greens and I wasn't getting my protein from healthy sources. And you don't get that much protein from breads and things, right? Hey, Margaret. Thank you for connecting with me. Guys, I love it when you connect with me, and I will connect back with you when this live is over. But hey, as you're coming in, if you would do the heart me, that really helps. I also have right there, now the populars are in the gift area. And, gifts are optional. It's just a way of like supporting our community and helping us grow. And then if you share this out, you can do that from that arrow button down here, but you can also just press down right here and your friends are going to pop up and you can hit send. You can connect with each other. Anything that gets this chat moving and going, that helps. And it's not, for me, it's not about the numbers. It's about bringing people in who have information that I don't, because I learn something new every day from you all in here. And I hope you guys learn a little something too. And if you do, if you find something helpful, that's when you do the gifts. And eats lots of yogurt and cottage cheese. I don't like cottage cheese, but yogurt. Yes, I love yogurt. But that's awesome, Mushroom. That's awesome. So then the last thing, other than I'm an urban farmer, I should tell you that, but that subscription, I just want you guys to know that is changing. But right now it's $3 a month. And what I'm providing for my subscribers is at 2 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we switch over to a subscriber only live. You can even hop on screen if you want. And we talk about what the subscribers want to talk about. So that's different every time. And then I'm watching a hummingbird here. Then also I've got in my content, there's 7 currently long form videos that are tutorials on how to do different things, how to preserve the food, how to grow the food. And I know the subscription thing is changing. I'm assuming that's going to continue to change as we go over to the new app. I don't know all the details of that, but just stay on the watch for it. Right now, there are 7 long form tutorial videos for my subscribers only out there. There's also a subscriber only place where we can chat. I think they are developing that more to try to get people to stop going over to Discord for that. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I think that's what they're trying to do. And Rye Guy is back. This year, I finally perfected my fertilizer injector for my garden. That's awesome. That's awesome, Rye Guy. So tell us, I know you got to type it out, but tell us a little bit about that if you want. Awesome, Mushroom. That's awesome. That's awesome. And he's a pescatarian. That's amazing. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's the proof. That's the proof right there, right? Is still being healthy. Really, that's the only way to be healthy, right? Is to take our food choices, take that control back. I'm not perfect, but man, it's a lot better than most people I know. I use liquid fertilizer and doses it automatically in my irrigation. That is okay, right, guys. See, guys, this is why we bring more people in all the time. This is why we're doing the gifts and the heart me's and the shares and the taps, so that somebody like Rye Guy comes in here and teaches me new things. I selfishly want you all to do all of that so that people like Rye Guy find us, hop in here, and teach me new, amazing, wonderful things. I don't know if you were in here 2 days ago when I took all the time to put that new one together, Rye Guy. It's working great. It's working great. And we're only in the 70s here today. So I'm not sure what the extended forecast. I think I saw some high 80s, low 90s. So I probably will go ahead and extend that out to use the full 15 spaces that there are. I was just kind of waiting to see what the weather was going to be like, but I'm definitely buying a couple more of those. I'm going to watch like end of season sales here and see what happens. Hey, let's see, who was that? Oh shoot, I didn't see. An app controls my watering automatically. That's amazing. Now this one it's got a little timer. So I can't set the time, but whenever I start it, then it goes either 12, 24, or 48 or 72 hours from there. So I guess if I ever wanted to change the time of when it waters, I just need to come out like 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning or whatever and hit the on off button. So it's not as fancy as yours, but it gets the job done. But it has 15, and I do want to look for, I know sometimes on Craig's online, sometimes you can find like 50-gallon barrels for like $20, $25 around here. That's what I want to go get. And just put a hole in it and put like some mesh over it to keep things out. And mine goes off weather and soil moisture. Yeah, you've got the fancy one, Rye Guy. That's amazing. That's amazing. Because that's what I was thinking this morning, because we had rain yesterday. And I was like, don't get me wrong, these grow bags still need to be watered. Because the rain it just doesn't stay in those grow bags. And I knew that. And that's what I wanted for those peppers. I'm totally fine with that. I've used grow bags for years for various things, but I know specific what goes in it well and what doesn't. These peppers are doing fine. It's just when I don't water them within 24 hours, they're looking wilty. So that's why I set that up. And anyway, if I can just get that large rain barrel, my reason I can't do like a really fancy one is because I cannot hook it up to my hose bibs. I just can't, because we're in an old house. And if I have the water on constantly and it's like, stopped at the hose bib, I'm just concerned about water backing up into our basement. That has happened before. Pipes have busted and things when we've left hoses on without turning them off. So I'm not sure how you have yours hooked up, but I think if I just have to go around and like fill up some 50-gallon barrels around my yard, that's going to be so much easier, and it's going to help with blight so much more. It's really going to help my tomatoes to not, me standing there with a hose. I use old IBC tanks from a maple syrup factory. That's awesome. Okay, so yours are not hooked up to your hose bib. Yay, that's awesome. Cool. But yeah, just standing there, because, sometimes you got to water the zinnias that are right next to the tomatoes. The tomatoes don't need the water. And so they're getting, wow, 220. So how often do you have to fill those? Probably not very often, do you? I was actually hoping with the barrels that I could I do have a place on my downspouts for a rain barrel, and I was just rain keeps them full this year. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, that I could have it open enough that it will capture rain and really keep me from having to fill them very often. I also have, since 2 years ago when we built this chicken coop, because it's got a slanted roof, I've got some old gutter in my backyard, and I want to hang the gutter from that. And I always wanted to put a rain barrel to come off the chicken coop. But that's my reason to go ahead and do it again, for reasons like that, because then I could water a quarter of my backyard. Well, I could run 2 different irrigations out of there, and a third-ish of my backyard could be watered from one 50-gallon barrel. It's a dry year. I use a Hudson valve that fills them automatically from city water, if it's a dry year. Awesome. So I see people looking at items down there. You're absolutely welcome to do that at any time. I sometimes forget they're down there because I don't have a little highlighted thing. I only pin something when we're actually talking about it and it's on screen. So, you're welcome to look at those at any time. If you ever have a question, I think there's a box to check. I am doing well, Mama J. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping in. We went around the whole yard today because it's cool enough. I could take you guys with me. We did our harvest, and we got, it was 5.5 pounds of stuff today. Yeah. So we got a little bit of everything. We got tomatoes. We got Cubanelle peppers, jalapenos, some Kentucky Wonder Beans, rhubarb, and I've got about 50 more leeks that I need to harvest, but I only did one just to show everybody. There's a lot out there. It's just, I don't want to take too much more into my house. Kind of getting overwhelmed with stuff on the counter that needs to be processed. I might get some bush beans, maybe. Awesome. Yeah, right, guy. It's always something. Okay, so here's what I did over the last 2 days, guys. And this was Wildflower Farm hasn't been in here in a while, but this was at her suggestion. And then I have a friend who's a flower farmer. And she really encouraged me to do it too, but just to set up like a little front porch farm stand. And I'm just getting started. But, you know, like I baked some scones. I've got some extra tomatoes and peppers. And yeah, so I'm only going to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday to start out with. And I'll just kind of keep an eye on these and replace anything that starts to look like it's spent. But I advertised on Marketplace and Nextdoor. So I'm going to get a little sign to put out in my driveway at some point. We'll see. We'll see. But it gives me a way to offer people some of my abundance that I don't need. Because I like the flowers in jars to do shipping. I don't think those would make it. But yeah, and those aren't fancy jars. Those are just like old spaghetti jars and stuff. So I actually have a note there that, you know, I'd like to keep prices low. So when you come back next time, bring your jar and put it under the table. Because if I have to start using mason jars, you know, then I'm going to have to pay for them. Ice and Sprite. Does that, okay, so I understand the ice, but does the Sprite help them stay fresh? I have never heard that. How much do you put in? I'm assuming you mix with water? Or is it just Sprite? I have never heard that. Out of coffee. Okay, time to move on to water. Huh. So would you just put a little bit in there? I mean, it makes sense because that's what they're converting nutrients. And I mean, that's photosynthesis. Yeah, just a little. That's awesome. See, guys, this is why we're building a community. Because y'all are teaching me things that I didn't know. So is that what's in those little like packets they give you when you buy flowers? Is that sugar that's in those? I just always assumed it was some type of preservative, but sugar is a preservative. That is awesome. Wow, you guys are teaching me all kinds of things today. Thank you. I will definitely get on that. I'll just go buy a little cheap Big K Sprite and just pour a little bit in there. That's awesome. When putting flowers in cake, flowers will bloom. The packet, I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, you know, when you go buy sugar and low dose fertilizer in the packets. There we go. I never knew. I never knew that was sugar in there. Wow. Learn something new every day. I like learning things even in my 50s. So very interesting. Oh, now I'm looking up. Now my wheels are spinning. I got to remember to pour a little bit in there. Concerned about having them outside and then getting flies down in there, but I guess gnats and flies are already landing. They really love the little chive flowers. So my flower farmer friend was here. You guys weren't in here earlier. I'll show you what we were talking about earlier. She was here Monday, and she's the one who's like, she saw all my zinnias and stuff. She's like, yeah, you need to be selling those. And then she just called this alum, but it's from the alum family. They're garlic chives. And she was like, oh, cut some of those and put those in your flowers too, in the bouquets. People will love them. And so I'm going to leave some to go to seed. But you guys can see like the gnats and the bugs are all over them. And I wondered if, you know how garlic is a little sticky? I wondered if there's almost like a sugary type thing, because those are flies. Those are not pollinators. So I've never had this many of these bloom. I've had a few here and there, but I know if I let these all go to seed, this whole patch is going to be garlic chive, because that's how this got here to begin with. That block bed right there on the porch is where I had my garlic chive for like 8 years. And then one year it didn't come back up, but it started right here. So evidently the seed blew over here. And now this whole, all of that, that's not grass on the other side of that little faucet thing. That is not grass. That is more of, all of this is garlic chive. It was out here. We cut 1.5 pounds of this. It's in my dehydrator right now. We cut 1.5 pounds of this Monday evening when I did a pop-up live. So it's dehydrating. I was going to try to sell some of that on my front porch farm stand. But she's right. These make very pretty flowers in the arrangements. I just had a few. So there's a few of them in there. But the gnats, or whatever they are, really love these. And she always gives me good tips, like, so my forsythia need cut back. They're all sticking up out here. And yeah, I'm still on my network, so I can hop out here. And she said, do you ever cut any of those to put in your flowers? And I said, no, except for in the spring when they're yellow. You know, when you have the yellow, oh, our monarch's back. I scared her. And she was like, oh no, cut them when they're green too, and stick those in your bouquets. And people love it. They look real pretty and they stay green for a long time. I was like, okay, I can do that. I got a lot. I can do that. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on those, and just, you know, as more flowers are coming on and those start to get spent, I'll just replace them. But this, if I'd started earlier, this whole area right here is daisies every year. Those long stem white daisies, they're beautiful, but they just start falling everywhere. There's so many there. Looks like I might get another small flowering of them, but I can't even, the chicken wire doesn't even hold them up. There's so many. Mama J, thank you for sharing that. First time I've ever grown the giant zinnias, and I love them. I will grow those every year now. They've got orange, white, and those pink ones. But this is what freaked her out Monday morning when she stopped by, when she saw all these sunflowers. And she was like, your sunflowers are gorgeous. I can't believe how many you have on each stalk. And I was like, those are all volunteer. I can't take any credit for them, because they all, like the finches, they're just landing on them again this year, and they drop the seed. And so next year I have got to pull them out of there and transplant them someplace else, because this bed over here on that side, that is my, in my entire place, that gets the most sunlight for the longest each day, no matter what time of year. So those cannot take over my bed next year. But I hadn't started any and didn't have any to plant out. And when I saw them coming up, I was like, oh, I'll just let a few of those go. I had no idea they were going to be 8 feet tall and block everything else, because what I had there last year was about half this size and about 1/4 of the amount of flowers on each one. And I think I only had like 3 total. So I don't know why there's so many, but I definitely am thankful for them. I feel like God just gave them to me because I didn't get any started, and sunflowers are my absolute favorite. But I was trying to show you the pollinators have loved them, and the finches have been wild for them, and they do look pretty in the bouquets. And to start out, a lot of those over there, like they were just on little tiny stems, but now as the summer has progressed, their stems are getting longer, so they're easier to put in the bouquets. And I was asking people yesterday, like, you know, what would you guys charge for a bouquet? And iridescence is a regular in here. And she was like, well, at my local farmer's market, they charge $1 to $3 for each sunflower stem. It's like, okay, well, I don't feel bad charging $10 for a bouquet then. That's still cheaper than the grocery store or Trader Joe's or wherever you go, which is a grocery store, I know. But But anyway, yeah. I accidentally have 2 of the painted ones in there. I probably need to move those around a bit. But anyway, that's what's going on at my house. What do you guys got going on in your garden? Anything new and exciting coming up? Are you doing a fall planting? I just like to hear what you guys are doing too. That's when I learn from you guys, is when you share what's going on in your neck of the woods. But this is your first time here. I'm going to pull down the list here and see who's in here. Do we have anybody new? Yeah, we might have a few new people in here. So my name's Angela, and I'm an urban farmer in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. I do a lot of other things, but this live is primarily to do with the urban farming stuff. And I've been at this location for 10 years, but don't tell me you can't grow anything. I happen to believe that everyone can grow something somewhere, because if I were to turn you around right now, you would see a bunch of pots out there, plant pots, and that is how I got started. Do you think bush beans will do okay in autumn? I don't know, Mama J. What grow zone are you in? Let's answer this. If you could tell me what grow zone you're in. I'm in 6B. I do know that you can succession plant bush beans. I don't know, Colorado. So I would guess you're 6 or 7, depending upon where you're located. Oh, shoot, my power is getting low. We're okay for now, but I probably only got like 15-ish minutes left, guys. Mama J, do you know your average first frost date? And if you don't, that's okay. So a couple of things, guys, as she's getting ready to answer. If you don't know your grow zone, you can go to a search engine and say, what is my grow zone for zip code blank? And it will tell you. And that could be a very wide swath all the way across the country. We have people who come in here that are 6B, just like me. I'm just south of Cincinnati, Ohio, in northern Kentucky, but we have people from Pennsylvania and Missouri and even southern Minnesota who are all 6B. That just has to, basically, that's just telling you your average first and last frost dates. So 6B for me, average first frost is around mid-October. Zone 5. Okay, so I don't know for sure, Mama J. I think you might be a little bit on the shallow side of being able to get them to come, to, unless you found one that has a fast harvest time. So on your seed packets, or when you're, looking for seeds, a lot of times it will tell you, the planting depth and all those kind of things, and it will tell you days to harvest. So if you could find one that is days to harvest 60 or less, you might be okay. You might not get a huge crop, but you might get a little bit. And if you'd have a fluke in the weather where it was unseasonably warm, first frost October 16th. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so you are just within the 60-day. So, I usually tell people, try a few, maybe don't put out a whole row, or don't put out like 25 plants, but, maybe try 5 or 10. She's talking about Freedom X. She's specifically asking about bush beans, and I grow pole beans, so I'm not sure about because pole beans take longer. It seems like my parents always planted out their bush beans in Indiana in like early May usually. And they were getting harvests by the end of June, beginning of July. So it kind of just depends on your microclimate. Do you have an area that would be like really full on sun for, I mean, 8 or more hours a day? And I'm just the kind of person, like, I just experiment, you know. I might not use the whole packet of seed just because I don't want to waste anything, you know. It's not really a waste though if you're trying to learn what works for your place. Because like my 6B is a lot different from the 6B guy who was up in southern Minnesota, right? My first frost date is, I might have moved it back. If in 5 it's October 16th, I used to think that was mine. Mine might be more like the 20th or the 25th or something like that. But I mean, you know, a few years ago, guys, we were 60 degrees on Christmas and New Year's Day. So it just depends. And I feel like I just start to watch the weather, especially like I don't want to bring in a whole bunch of green tomatoes if I don't have to. So when the weather starts to change, I just start watching the weather. Are we going to have a frost? Are we going to have a freeze? And I just wait until I see that in the forecast, and then I go out and, you know, we'll probably have a day in Alive when we have to do that, when we have to pick 30 pounds of tomatoes in order to get them all in before we have a frost or a freeze. So yeah, so let me just tell you guys, my power is still okay. I've probably still got a couple more minutes, but I go live at noon Eastern daily. My name's Angela, Mama, Wife, and Grammie in Cincinnati, Ohio area. I'm also an urban farmer, a Christian, and I do TikTok shop. And all of that plays into my content and my lives. I do some TikTok shop pop-up lives here and there. If you want to know when those are, you can follow me so that you can see when I go live. I think there's even a notification bell. You get notified when I post or when I go live. So there's content for a lot of these garden things that we've talked about that's there in my profile too. If you have connected with me during this live, I will connect with you afterwards, unless you're a private account. I respect your privacy. But when you come in, it's very helpful if you do the heart me, if you share this out, if you tap it out, and you can press down right here, and your friends are going to pop up, and you can hit send, 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 send. And every single one of those actually creates a chat line, and that chat starts moving, and it brings in more people. And bringing in more people is how we get information like we've had today from Rye Guy and Mama J and Freedom X. And there was somebody else, Mushroom was in here giving us info. There was somebody else too. And Iridescence, she always has great information too. So now then these things right here, obviously, if you've ever been alive, you know the gifts are like how you tell the host that you appreciate what they're doing. And that's the populars as well. Those things help push us out too. But that subscription, guys, I know it's changing. I'm very frustrated that it's changing, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the new app and all of that. I just don't even know. I'm just not even like worrying about it, thinking about it. What I know is today the subscription is $2.99. And for that, you get Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. I switch over to a subscriber only live. You can hop on screen with me as long as you're respectful, which I assume my subs would be because I got great subs. And you can hop on screen with me and we can have a chat. And anybody can hop in and see that. They get like a 60-second preview, but they can't comment. They can't comment. Only the subs can participate in the conversation. And then I also have 7 long-form tutorial videos on growing, harvesting, preserving your harvest. And there's 7 of them right now for subs only because they're long form and the algorithm's not going to push those out anyway. So if only 2 people are going to see them, I want it to be 2 people who are subs who really want that kind of content. So if you're ever interested in doing something like that, you are welcome. You also get stickers and you get shout outs and all those kind of things for being a sub. But I'm really trying to do a little bit more and give you guys even more value. And that's what I'm doing through the subscription. Because if you're going to pay $3 a month, I want it to be worth your money, right? So I want you to be able to learn things. And but feel free anytime whether you're a sub or not, to drop in the comments and in the content and share your thoughts on the different things that I'm sharing. And that's how we learn and grow, right? And you guys coming in here and sharing with me, I love to see your comments. Row cover can protect crops for up to 9 degrees of protection per layer. Freedom X, you are awesome. I don't think you were in here earlier when I was asking about, since you brought up row covers, I highlighted one that was down here, not to try to sell it, but just to let people know what I was talking about. But I think it was number 2 down in here. Was it floating row cover? It actually, the listing does not say the right thing. So the plant cover, yeah, it's number 2 down in there, but it says wire connector. So I need to find another listing to have in my showcase, because this is the time of year when people are going to want the row covers again, right? But I was asking if I could use the row covers like a shade cloth. We're only 70 degrees today, but I think we are going to go back up into the 80s and 90s. But I will turn you around over here. I had a seed company. Yes, that's good to know. Good to know. Thank you. That was the information I was looking for. So I had a seed company send me some samples, and given the time of year, they sent me arugula and a couple of different lettuces. And I need to get these. I need to start getting these out. This one I just brought outside to harden off a couple days ago. These just came out today. I thought it was good temperature. We don't have any sunlight. Yes. Okay, good. Because I'm going to put them on this north side of this barrel and that barrel over there. And I can easily just drape some shade cloth around it while they're babies. And then some shade cloth around it while they're babies. And then by the time they get big enough to harvest, it'll probably be cool enough. The days will be shorter. I think I thought that would help. So thank you for that. I don't think I've ever used that for shade cloth. I've used like burlap before, but that's heavier when it rains, and protect from bug pressure. Yes. So, I mean, when I grow greens like that inside in the winter, I just start thinning them out now. And even if I have lettuce from the grocery store, I'll just start throwing some of that in with my salads or on sandwiches or whatever. And then when they get bigger, that'll be about the time I take them outside in March or April and get them planted. So I have planted lettuce in the summer before, but it's always bolted because I got it out too early. Or I put burlap on it, and when the burlap got wet, it was too heavy, and it kind of didn't really snap them, but they struggled to dry out. So I want to do these right because they look so good, and I'm ready for some good lettuce again. But I've got this I've grown lettuce in here. Actually, arugula. I did arugula from seed in this. That was last year. And it did really well because this does not ever get in full sun because of the grapes and stuff right there. Even when the sun comes around in the evening, now it's going behind the trees and the houses across the street. But even in full summer, this never gets in full sun because of the grapes and things. So guys, my phone only has 9% left, so I'm going to start glitching soon. We went a little bit over today, but that was fine. That's fine. I love the conversation. I hope you will join me at noon tomorrow. And I don't know what we'll be doing. Depends on the weather and depends on just what needs to be done. But if you're interested in subscribing or connecting, you can do that at any time. And I hope to see you again real soon. And remember, tomorrow at 2 p.m. for subscribers, we will switch over to subscriber only. So guys, hope to see you tomorrow at noon. Bye-bye.